What's up guys, CJ here, and welcome back to another all-new DC Rebirth comic review. Today we'll be talking about Supergirl Rebirth number 1, a whole new starting point for the Girl of Steel in the DC Comics universe, as this issue essentially is retconning her origin in the DCU. Well, maybe not a retconning, more of a resetting, but for more, let's just dive right in. Our issue begins with a brief flashback to Argo City, Supergirl's home before its destruction, but after she was sent away by her father, Zor-El. Here we see Zor banishing a citizen, Lar-On, to the Phantom Zone because of his red kryptonite sickness, and remember that character, Lar-On, as odds are that he'll show up again in probably the next 30 seconds or so. We then pivot to the present day, with Kara, having lost her powers, turning to the DEO for help. The DEO, or Department of Extranormal Operations, by the way, is the organization Kara works with occasionally in the show, and is the first of probably more than a few influences the show will have on this book in particular. The DEO's plan to restore her powers is to load her in a ship that they've built with a phantom drive and Kryptonian Genesis chamber, and shoot her into the sun to kickstart the chamber's restorative capabilities. But within minutes of Supergirl blasting off into space, a portal from the Phantom Zone opens due to the Phantom Drive's activation, and out pops none other than Lar-On. I told you he would show up in like 30 seconds. Confused and speaking only Kryptonian, Lar-On, exposed to the light of the Earth's moon, becomes a, wait for it, I'm being completely serious here, a werewolf. Yes, literally, but let's put a pin in that. We're actually going to discuss it a little more later. While Lar-On, the Kryptonian werewolf, rampages at the DEO facility on Earth, Kara's ship enters the sun, and moments later, Supergirl herself emerges. Fully powered and suited up with her abilities restored, she speeds back to Earth and takes the fight to Lar-On. Over the course of their brief battle, as superheroes typically do, they of course talk, they chit-chat. Realizing their connection through Zor-El, Kara's father, Kara learns his story and eventually calms him down, promising to help cure him no matter how long it takes. As the issue comes to a close, we learn more about the new status quo for Kara going forward. Placed into the foster care of Eliza and Jeremiah Danvers, two DEO agents, Kara will attend a technical high school while also working covertly for the DEO to monitor extraterrestrial activity. We also get an ominous little teaser of what's to come as Supergirl's father, Zor-El, aka Cyborg Superman, surveys the rubble of Argo City and awakens a female cyborg, leaving us once again with more questions than answers. So overall, this was actually a pretty solid issue. I mean, it had some ups, it had some downs, but there was one really cool thing that we just have to talk about. A lot of you reading the issue, or even just listening to this review, might think, really? A werewolf? That's kind of jumping the shark, right? Well, actually, that is a fantastic callback to way back in 1979, when Lar-On debuted in an issue of World's Finest, the Batman and Superman team-up comic, as a Kryptonian scientist turned werewolf that had been banished to the Phantom Zone by none other than Superman's father, Zor-El, emerging on Earth when a human scientist's Phantom Zone testing summoned him forth. In my opinion, that is just a fantastic callback to the 70s, and that's probably my biggest pro for this issue. And if there's another big one, is that the art is also extremely good. Emanuela Lupacchino continues to be one of the best in the biz, and her art feels like a perfect fit for this series. But as far as cons go, I'll give a little bit of a pass to the expositionary nature of this issue, as it is really a backstory reset for Supergirl in every sense of the word. They're not really changing anything, so I don't feel like I can call it a retcon, but they're literally setting her back to square one, as if the New 52 didn't happen. You know, despite her existing in the New 52, in the Rebirth continuity, she's only been on Earth for a few months, as opposed to 5-ish years, so an explanation for her situation is needed for not just new readers, but some old readers as well. Overall, though, I'll give Supergirl Rebirth number 1 a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't 100% my cup of tea, but a clever throwback to a classic character brought me back in, and it serves as a great jumping on point for fans of the TV show, or folks just looking to get more into the character. But that's going to do it for this recap and review. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider supporting us on Patreon for access to all sorts of exclusive goodies. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.